Hello, it's Corinne from the Sewing Works, and today I want to show you a little bit about designing your own ruler blocks. And my favorite little tool is these little stitching line discs. They come in a variety pack of 8. They're all 1/4 inch spacing, and they have different size openings in the center to fit your different marking tools. So you'll want to keep these all in these little baggies so they don't get lost, but you'll want to size which one will fit either your chalk or your friction pen or whatever you're using to mark. Today I'm just drawing something out on paper to see if it's even something I want to consider. So let's switch over to our workstation. Alright, as you can see, I have a 16-point crosshair square marked out on my piece of paper here. I'm actually using a light box because I have my markings on a separate piece of paper. So I want to use one of my stitching discs, which I have sized for my friction pen. And you just want to make sure that it fits in there snug and it marks through the center. So I'm just kind of scribbling there off to the side. So I'm trying to create a daisy shape, and I have an 8.5 inch block that I have marked my spokes out 3 1/4 inches on each spoke, and I think that would be a nice petal size with my 12-inch arc ruler, but I want to see before I actually stitch anything. So I'm going to start in the center, and that's how I start. Put my pen down, and then I'm going to use my ruler and my spacing gauge as I would when I am sewing to get that lined up on my first spoke, and then it gives me my nice 1/4 inch space, and I hit the spot and stop. Now I'm going to come back into the center. Papers are shifting on me a little bit, and luckily, since we're just using pen, we can pick up and reorganize ourselves before we start stitching again. So I know I want to be right against that stitching disc and a 1/4 inch from the center, and I'm going to stitch down the other side of that petal. So there you have one petal. Now I'm going to stitch down the opposite petal. And kind of eyeball it before you move. Using my spacing gauge. And then back in the center. And I'm going to come down and stop when I hit it. Okay, you can see I have finished my daisy block except for one last petal. It's not always as easy to do this. Not always as easy to do this when you don't have your sewing machine needle to help hold your stitching disc down. And I'm pretty good at guessing my 1/4 inch, but I like to double check. So there you have it. And for this 8.5 inch block, I do like this size. I think the petals turned out nice, and it fills this space mostly. I probably go around and do something in the outer edge, but that's how you can use your stitching discs to draft your blocks. Thanks for joining us.